honorable and ain't of God of nothing that you did.
My show had value. And
no, it didn't.
That
I agree. No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. What I was doing.
Not it.
And you know, I'm a church girl too. And
no, she didn't. No, she didn't.
When?
She had no business being the silliest she was, or she would have had a show. Am I happy for her? I'm happy that they kicked off the show. Kind of, sort of. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's negative that I'm happy that she ain't got a show because her show is trash. It's just the way it works.
Me too.
When you don't produce for the network, you don't have a show no more. And when you lying with that fake wig you have on, looking like a milk dud with a mop on your head, then this is what happened to you. All that talk about Donald Trump, all that talk about Trump supporters. This is what you get. This is what you get. All right, now enough of that. Let's go down. There's a video of a compilation of how crazy she was, and this is why she lost her job. Don't give me the. Oh, some fool came on TV the other day and said the only reason why all these people lose their jobs because they bending the knee to Donald Trump. No, the probably only reason they had their job because y'all was pushing DEI and they needed black folks to have shows on TV trying to fake equity inclusion. And now they don't have to abide by that stuff. They don't get a negative credit score as a business because they're not having diversity, inclusion, and delusion. And they're saying, look, it's not bringing in no money. Nobody's watching you be deranged. It's a new day in America. Y'all still hating on Trump. It's over. He won. You better get in line or you get left behind. But this is why she lost her show. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. Don't let nobody argue with nothing different. This is just a compilation of a few reasons why this hag don't have a show no more. Road clip.
In America, there's a feeling about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They Karen out and as soon as they get caught, through the waterworks. White men can get away with that too. And it has the same effect. Even as the right tries to politicize the idea that masculinity is being robbed from American men by multiculturalism and wokeism, they still want to be able to have their tears. Black voters came through for Kamala Harris. White women voters did not. That is what it appears happened in that state, is that if you can't flip enough white women, and we've talked about this on this set numerous times, is that you have a state where you've got a 6-week abortion or a 12-week abortion. I think there might be 12 weeks.
Yep.
But it's a state where women lost their reproductive rights, where there was a very heavy push to get women to focus on not putting in place, re-electing, putting back into the White House the person who was responsible for taking those rights away and restoring them. But that message obviously was not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy. And God bless Shannon Watts, who's trying to have that conversation. But if people aren't receptive to it, and if people vote more party line or more on race than on gender and on protecting their gender, there's really not much more that you can do but tell people what the risks are and leave it to.
I just want to say that she's delusional. She's a part of the problem. People like her and that rhetoric, that ideology, that way of thinking keeps us separated. And I would know because I used to watch her show like back in 2020. Girl, I used to watch her show. I used to be very just like pro-black and BLM, all of that. Well, I wasn't out there protesting, but because of my health condition. But if I could, I would have been out there. But she's a part of the problem because you're just keeping that division. I remember during 2020, it was like this conversation of white women, we got to educate you on how to like be an ally to the black people. You got to do this, you can't do this, and da-da-da-da. And I would go around my like white friends and they would be so like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm not supposed to say that. Da-da-da. I'm like, what are you, like, what? It is just so confusing because you're not actually addressing the issue. I voted for Trump as a black woman because I don't care about skin color, I don't care about race. What are you doing to help the economy? What are your values aligned to God? That's the biggest thing for me. And there's kids over there at the border who are getting smuggled. Like, what are you doing? Kamala Harris was the border czar like for the past 4 years and has done nothing. Instead, she's made it even worse. Let the Venezuelans and all these illegal immigrants come over and they're taking over. And one of the things that really just angers me, really, apoplectic, I like to use that word, makes me apoplectic, okay, is that they're not listening. They're not listening. They want to just get on here and state their opinions, but I highly doubt that Joy Reid or Sunny Host and any of these people have been in like Los Angeles or Denver or Ohio or any of these places. They haven't been in Chicago where they're taking over schools, shutting down schools, giving money to these illegal immigrants and putting them in Trump hotels and all of that. It's just, and I just don't understand why Black people in particular, like what is it? We are the only ones keeping ourselves in bondage, because I really have learned being around white people. I mean, I used to work in Hollywood. White people rule Hollywood. Like they I mean, predominantly is white. Like even the show that I worked on, which was a Black cast, it was still just white people everywhere. Being around them, they don't care about my skin color. They don't care that you're Black or whatever. It's about your character. It's about your morals. That's how we agree and come together. Joy Reid, Roland Martin, all those people who are race hustlers, race baiters, they're a part of the problem, and they're not doing their jobs as journalists. And that it just fails, and it fails the community, and it just keeps us in bondage even further.
Hey, I just want to give some free advice to the white progressives, particularly white progressive women who may be thinking about marching against the Trump victory, maybe putting back on the pure hats and doing that thing. I would just say probably don't send any of those invites to any Black women you know. I'm just going to say right now, they're not coming. I'm pretty sure Black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely the Save the Democratic Party Coalition.
I think that's
probably not happening. I would just keep those invites maybe among your own friends, because I don't think they're coming. But yeah, I think Black women are now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men, and Prioritize Black Communities, Black businesses, and that. And you know, the Black spaces, the Save America, Save the Democratic Party. Yeah, I think that's
happening. What she has done in that regard.
Yeah, what'd you say, Sissy?
It would be so interesting to know what Joy Reid has done in regards to helping Black women, helping Black businesses. Honestly, I'm cringing. I'm cringing listening to her because, you know, just like you were saying, sis, she's one of the biggest parts of the problem. She's a race hustler. She's racist. You know, she's continuing to talk about, you know, what white supremacy, the white man and the white this and the white what they've done, but she's the one who is racist. I mean, good grief. How long are we supposed to be set up having mental slavery in our minds? Why is it that everywhere we go, the lens that you need to look at is through the color of your skin? Because that's what she's doing. So she has this victim mentality where that's how she sees. So everything is an issue. Everything is negative. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's disgusting.
Now, hold on, there's more. Pause it real quick. There's more, but I just want you, just so far. So far, so good, huh? So far, can't you see why somebody like this would not have good ratings? I'm not saying you gotta cancel nobody for the stuff they say. You can say whatever you want. This is America. You cannot like white people all you want, which is exactly what she's racist. You can say racist stuff all you want. Now, people ain't gonna watch your show though, and it's not gonna get good ratings. You don't have any substance to what you're saying. But there's more. Roll it.
Thanksgiving, the day we gather with friends and family to enjoy turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie. We throw on the game, catch up on our lives, and then discuss, or quite possibly argue, about religion and politics. For millions of Americans, it's a day of cherished traditions. And as Americans, we certainly value those traditions. But it's also important to unpack the myth of Thanksgiving. It is a holiday riddled with historical inaccuracies, built on this myth that the indigenous welcomed their colonizers with open arms and ears of corn, a simplistic fairy tale interpretation of a 1621 encounter between indigenous tribes and English settlers that erases the genocide that followed. It's the truth Republicans want banned from our textbooks. Because here's the secret they want so desperately to keep. We are a country founded on violence. Our birth was violent. In 1619, a ship with more than 20 enslaved Africans landed in Virginia, ushering in 2 centuries of American slavery that left millions in chains or dead. And when those humans in bondage were finally free, a terrorist organization that was a card-carrying member of polite society, the Ku Klux Klan, picked up where the Civil War ended, using violence to maintain white supremacy. The Klan and its ilk are still active, and as Americans, we continue to choose violence. We are a country that chooses violence over and over again.
Can you just stop
There
this?
is no
Stop this
facet
for
of
one
American.
minute, please.
Yes. Go off.
Does Joy Reid know, and I think Brandon is going to speak about it, that the black on black crime in 1 month is higher, I believe, than white crime on black people in, I believe, I don't know if it's about a year. I think he's going to bring the statistics.
Yeah.
What is she talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is she talking
The
about?
biggest threat to black people are
Are black people.
We're our own threat. We're our biggest enemy. Not white people.
What is she talking about?
Oh. It makes no sense.
Roll the clips.
Society that is untouched by it, as all the recent headlines remind us. These are the people who say the undocumented, who they get to call illegal immigrants, like the Pilgrims had permission to come here, have to suffer the consequences of their actions, right? They made the choice to overstay their visas or come into our country illegally, so if they get deported, consequences. But you right-wingers shouldn't have to suffer the consequences of your votes? You don't want to be around me because I voted for fascism. No fair. I'm coughing on you with COVID, but you want me to wear a mask for your safety? No fair. My body, my choice. Well, here's an alternative thought. Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches. Wipe your own tears. Troll amongst yourself with Elon and leave us alone. You got your heart's desire, the president you dreamed of, and worship instead of Jesus.
She's a
And this time, you didn't even have to storm the Capitol, smash the windows, or try to kill police officers or issue death threats to poll workers. See? You did it just by voting this time. Congrats. You got your way. And he even got away with breaking the law. Yay! But if you expect the 73 million who voted for the prosecutor, not the felon, and particularly the 92% of black women who voted for Kamala to give you a cookie for your vote, a
That means
trophy, a
he heard
hug, a
that.
high five, you might be asking too much. If we want to eat with you, we will. But if we just want some peace over the holidays and we don't want to put up with your trolling while we eat our tofurkey, get over it. Stop acting like we owe you.
No,
and for
you get
God's
over
sakes,
it.
stop whining. It's embarrassing.
You're
All day.
white. You know, and this is what is mind-blowing to me. Because I'm Jamaican, okay? And our motto is out of many one people. So unlike this situation and what's going on, it's commonplace to see different ethnicities in Jamaica. It's weird to not see different ethnicities in Jamaica. Black, white, Chinese, Korean, Jewish, you name it, we got it. You can find blue-eyed, blonde hair, white people in St. Elizabeth, in Treasure Beach, because Germans came and settled there. They speak just like me, they speak Jamaican, but they're white. So it's not a big deal. Race is not ethnicity is not a big deal. And to listen to this woman, race bait, race hustle, and then she says 92% of black women voted for Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
That breaks my heart.
It really does.
That breaks my heart. Because first of all, Kamala Harris is not black. As Donald Trump, black.
Black.
She's not black.
She's not black.
She identifies as Indian, which again is not an issue because we have many Indians in Jamaica too. Big deal. So her ethnicity is not an issue. But when she tried to make it an issue to
Right.
get the vote,
Mm-hmm.
that's the issue.
Washing green, collard greens in her
With all that.
bathtub. Girl,
Girl, sit
Megan
down.
Thee Stallion booty popping.
As though that's what identifies
Like that's what you
black
like people like, right? Yeah.
To
Little
have this-
John.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Have this woman shaking her behind on stage.
Beyonce. Oh, girl, don't even get me started.
As though that's what black culture is.
Right.
And you have 92% of black women voting for her. What were her policies? What was she offering?
They can't even tell you.
You live in these black communities, you would know this more than me, sis, being here in these democratic ran cities.
They're all
What have they done for you?
nothing.
So what is this hold? What is this hold that
Right.
continues to keep you in this mental
it's a
space?
principality. It's spiritual.
It is spiritual.
It is. Yeah.
It is spiritual. It is spiritual, sis. Because I'm listening to her spit her vitriol. There's no way. I'm happy. I was actually saying why she's still on air. So I'm glad that she's off air because nobody needs to be listening to this. It's poison.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It is poison.
It's poison, and that's the principality where she's able to like spit those seeds out, and they keep being implanted in people, and it's continuing to grow this awful tree with this
little
disgusting
baby,
fruit.
this anger baby, and
Good
just
grief.
keeping black women angry, keeping them mad and in bondage.
Come
That's really
on,
what
yeah.
it is. Girl, bye.
You've been lying about Joe Biden. You've been lying about COVID. You've been lying and lying and lying and lying. So now you're crying. I don't care. Roll the film.
Good grief.
My show had value. And
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
To who? Satan.
No, it didn't.
It had value to Satan.
Satan. Yeah, it did.
You was
To
doing
Satan.
Satan's work.
Amen.
had value. Had value.
man.
And in the end, I try not to cry on
Oh,
TV.
man.
It's kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And then it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you. Where I land is that
Good riddance.
the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was
You mean lies?
the Black
She's
Lives
an
Matter
illusion.
issues of a young
Yeah.
baby or a
You mean
mom
going
or dad
hard
who was
with
killed,
lies?
or
She really
when
thinks
we
she's
opened
speaking
up
truth.
people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted, and not just Black folks, or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them, or whether we talked about
Girl, you make
what the
$3
president
million
is
a
doing
year.
that
She
is
does.
subversive
Yeah.
to the
Just so you know that. Yeah, this
Constitution,
woman. She
that
makes $3
is
million a year.
injurious to our
$3 million
liberty,
a
you know,
year.
defending books that people find inconvenient, you know, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as
Put in
the
our
real founding of this
spirit.
country, whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes,
Yes.
whether it's talking about Gaza, and the fact that
Good
we as the
riddance.
American people have a right to object to little babies being bombed. And where I come down on that is I'm not sorry. I am not sorry.
And we're not sorry
stood
that you're
up
gone.
for those
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
things.
we're not
Because those
sorry.
things are of God. And you know, I'm a church girl too.
What?
And where I come down on that is I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God. And you know, I'm a
Those
church.
things are of God. Joy Reid. Oh, stop. Stop.
Truly,
Stop.
it's sad.
Nothing you did was of God.
Nothing.
Nothing you did was of God. Joy Reid.
I'm like-
What are you talking about?
Almost speechless. You know, she's really convinced that she
Yeah.
is on the right side, like she's aligned with God. That now she's throwing in God's name.
Man. Which
no,
God?
exactly.
Yeah, which God?
With Satan.
Yeah, which God?
That's the God she's talking about.
Yeah, which God is
With
she
the little
talking
G. Okay.
Girl too, and
No, you not.
those are the things that I was taught were of God, and so I'm not sorry. I'm just proud of my show.
Look, let me just say this. I gotta say it. Allegedly, I looked it up online. Joy Reid making $3 million a year.
about? There you go.
Y'all feel sorry for her? She making $3 million a year. She is a top 1% earner. And she get on TV every day and talk about the millionaires and talk about people with money. And she a top earner in the country. She a top 1% earner in the country. And her show was trash. She was lying on
Nothing
people.
but lies.
It ain't got nothing to do with God. You being an anti-Semite. It has nothing to do with God. You hate every white person and you think white people are
that's not God.
scumbags.
That's not God,
It's the
right.
very nature of their skin
Be
color.
racist is
It
not
ain't of God that you
Division
push
in
the
the
Black Lives Matter agenda and them 3 lesbians done robbed everybody of $90 million.
Exactly.
Don't know where it's
That's
at
not
and
God.
ain't done nothing for black people.
Yeah.
Right.
It ain't honorable, it ain't of God, of nothing that you do.
Nothing.
All right.
Nothing you did was.
You ain't got to worry about her no more. All right, so
I'm not sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sorry. I'm glad because her and her show and what she represents, I believe it's demonic, you know, it's ugly. It doesn't bring any light, any hope, any unity. You just lie for a living. You push your race bait for a living. You know, I just think it's disgusting. So I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. And I said what I said. Yeah.
There it is, and I agree. I'm happy. Literally, when Sissy told me, what was it, yesterday?
Yeah.
She was like, Joy Reid show got canceled. I was like, I literally screamed.
Yeah.
Literally screamed and shouted for joy because
Yeah.
she is the emblem or the image of Satan, as well as a lot of these people who are pushing the agenda of there being a representation, a representative of Satan. So she is therefore an image. She's made in the image of her daddy, which is Satan. She has to come out of that. You know, I was once a stranger too. I was once someone who was literally a couple of years ago. I remember I wasn't yelling at my mom, but I was telling her about I was so pro Beyonce. I remember just going off and, about black women and pro black, all of that, but then I came into truth and really found out God's heart. So if she's truly a Christian and someone who grew up in church, I just pray that she repents, that she actually does, instead of seeking her own selfish desires, her emotions, I was definitely emotion. That's how they drive, especially the black community, to get engaged in this propaganda, is the emotions, But getting past that, because your emotions lie to you. They really do. They can lie to you. So you get out of that cloud that's distorting your vision, and go press for the truth. So I really hope that Joy Reid and these other people who claim to be Christians and women or men of God actually just go and seek him, because that's what I had to do. I had to be like, and Dad, I wasn't calling him Dad at that time, God, show me the truth. Show me the truth about Beyonce. Show me the truth about Black Lives Matter. Show me the truth about the Democratic Party. Show me the truth about Obama. I pray that she comes to a place of humility, seeks the truth, seeks answers from the Father, and he will give her fish, bread. He's not going to give her a stone. Not going to give her anything else outside of the truth. So
it's just something that the last thing that I want to add to Sissy is, this stronghold that's on the black community, even outside of Christ. Because obviously this is a Christian channel. We're women of God, we're Christians. So our worldview is biblical, it's kingdom, but there is such a stronghold on the black community.
Yeah.
We know in the kingdom, there's no more male or female, Jew or Gentile. It's not about your skin color. You come into the kingdom. It's about the spirit.
It's light.
This is just a shell casing.
Yep.
It's a tent. It's
Avatar.
a meat sack. An avatar. But just even to the point of Joy Reid, outside of Christ, all right, so let's put that aside. Just this divisiveness, this bitterness and all of that, nobody wants that. I think your nation has gone through so much of that. People are just tired.
Yeah.
People are tired. There was COVID and there's all these different things, and people are tired. And this divisive way, and everything is a fight, and this person is this and that. People are just tired of it.
Keep up with it.
Yeah, people are just tired of that. People want hope. People want to live their lives. People just want to have some joy and some peace and all of that, and that kind of rhetoric. It just doesn't bear. It doesn't give you an ability to even bear that kind of fruit. So I just think even that, in and of itself, is just a turn off.
Yeah.
And people want truth. We know that Christ is truth. We know that God is truth. We know that the Word is truth. But even if people don't know how to articulate that it leads back to that. But people innately want truth. And I believe that's what people are pressing towards. And that's one of the reasons why her program was crashing out. It was just so bitter and angry and toxic. And stop pushing your hate. Yeah. Be a real journalist. Present the facts and the truth to people, and let people make their own decisions, and stop trying to force things down people's throats. And I think that was a nail in their coffin. And I mean, it's the view next, you know what I'm saying? But,
Coming for you.
yeah, it's the view next, you know, and any of these programs that continue to do that, because people just want truth. People want some peace. People just want to live their lives. And this divisiveness and bitterness, it's people are just over it, you know. People are just over it. So
Over it and done.
yeah, so that's all I have to say about that.
There it is, guys. Amen. Just repent, turn, come to the
Yeah.
Lord. Joy.
Amen.
Come, your joy. Joy. Come.
Oh yeah, start walking out in the character and function of your name.
There you
Joy.
go.
Amen.
I know.
Yeah, amen. Yeah, start
Yeah.
walking it out, Joy. Start
Yeah.
walking it out.
Come
Yeah.
on. All right, guys. Deuces.
See you, sisters that
Stay
pray together.
together.
Covenant sisters for life.
Bad girls for life.
No.
I mean, covenant sisters for
No.
life.
Yeah, covenant sisters for life.
We ain't
No.
going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. Na 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 na. 'Cause we covenant sisters for life.